Goeiedag and welcome. My name is Amareeske and today I will be doing a quick review of Turtles All the Way Down by John Green. I did not plan to read this book, but let me give you a very short synopsis. It's a book about Asa and her friend who discover that an old childhood friend's father of Asa's got missing, and they want to try and find out where he went to get the prize money that's set on his head. And to do that, they start going to Asa's old friend to ask if he knows anything about it or not. Well, let me tell you what I thought about this book. First things first, it feels almost like two separate books, because in the middle it is more like the mystery element is almost completely gone, and it changes to more of a romance novel, which I am absolutely not a fan of. I don't like romance in books. I also just recently got into more rom-com movies in a way of like a couple of years ago, and I'm now 25, so I'm not that much of a romance lover. I am not a quick reader, and I think that reading romance instead of watching it in a TV show or a movie is kind of a waste of my time. I like more deep psychological or fantasy themes in books, which you can learn a lot from, and romance does seem to be only be able to do that in very little amounts. So also the OCD and anxiety parts became 10 times as intense in the second part, which I did not like reading. It's not that it triggered or something, although I think it can trigger. And I might have autism and ADHD, but I don't have OCD or social anxiety, although I start to discover more and more that the way I experience my stresses and troubles due to my autism are a lot like social anxiety and OCD can be. I have had those kinds of compulsive, intrusive thoughts I could not stop, and in some way I managed to make the impact of the thoughts as little as possible, but I still can attest that the way they felt is a lot like this, and the social anxieties in my case are more like, how do I say this at which moment in time and in which way, because I naturally don't have that insight in me. And it was a very strange thing to read that's those similar kinds of anxieties, but due to Asa's OCD. So that perspective I think is very realistic, and I very much enjoyed reading it, but I did not really think this book was all amazing. It was fine. Because I also don't really like John Green's writing style. Like, the philosophical aspects in the first half of the book, I actually really enjoyed reading them, but then it got over the top when we were over halfway in. So I don't think, like, halfway through the book a lot of it changed and did not make me like it as much as it did in the beginning. And these were my thoughts in short within 5 minutes of starting the video of Turtles All the Way Down by John Green. If you like YA, if you like John Green's writing, I think you might like this, although I haven't read any of his other books, so I can't really say. Anywho, it is fine, just not really my thing. But this is it for now. Thank you for watching, and on to the keer!